Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. Today is going to be a little different video, and it's going to be regarding, yes, sports card to a certain extent, but I want to look at the economy. And I know some people get turned off by this, but there are a lot of people that look at sports cards as the new type of investment. I understand that. However, what I'm going to talk about, I believe, is going to be important going into the new year, especially with what's going on the macro level. So, firstly, if you go to the grocery stores, it's fairly obvious that the cost of goods they're going up. It could be due to a variety of reasons. It could be because they printed so much money, the inflation is coming into the overall economy because everything's opened back up. There's also a supply chain disruption. I went to the grocery store last month. My wife was a little under the weather. I was trying to get some Gatorade Zero, and usually it's really easy to find. At Walmart, empty shelves. Like a few times that I went there, like empty shelves. I was barely able to get it. And I thought to myself, this is weird. I'm usually able to find groceries without any other problems. And I went to Jewel the same week. I had so much trouble finding Gatorade Zero, and I've never had that issue. And that's probably because of the supply chain shortage. And what does this all mean? Well, if the supply chain is not functioning properly, and we've seen this with the virus, everything has been a little off. And there's some executive orders which could have caused this. And also, there could be a shortage of workers because of potential mandates. So, all of this is coming to fruition. The cost of goods going up. Okay. So, we have increase in prices. I look at the oil futures market. Oil is what? Over $80 a barrel. And last year, if some people remember, there were few months where the price of oil was negative, which is insane. But regardless, oil was cheap last year, and now oil, a year and a half later, is much more higher, which is hurting many middle class Americans and lower class Americans. Regardless, inflation's on the rise. So people are thinking, okay, what the hell does this have to do with sports cards? Okay, just hear me out. If there is inflation, cost of everything's going up, this means the Federal Reserve is going to be raising interest rates. Now, they're not going to do this, in my opinion, this year. Uh, what hints do I have that they're going to raise it next year? Well, I used to trade the futures markets, and there's the 30-day Fed funds futures rate. Long story short, the short term interest rates are the Fed funds rates, and the Fed controls the short end of the curve. And I was looking at data maybe a month or two ago, and they predicted that interest rates would go up in October. This is what traders predicted, October of next year. However, it could happen as early as August based on what these traders are predicting. That's right, August. That's only a little bit, 25 basis points. And then at the end of the year or close to January in 2023, they could be raising interest rates again 25 basis points. Now some people are like, okay, who cares? What does this have to deal with sports cards? Okay, I was looking at the PWCC data on their website, and I know some people are going to hate on PWCC, but they've compiled data of the top cards. And what happened, I believe, in 2016, 2017, they raised the interest rates three times. And what happened to the sports card market based on the PWCC data? It actually, on the high end of the curve, not high end of the curve, the high end sports cards, they went down in value. Okay. That doesn't mean that it was all doom and gloom. No, it just meant that certain sales of these cards, if you saw it multiple times a year, they actually went down in value. And I noticed that there are a lot of people that are flippers in this game. And I'm not trying to bash flippers here, but if the past is any resemblance of what's going to happen potentially next year, when you see interest rate hike, this could if it repeats what happened in 2017, then we could probably see a similar situation where we don't see a full out crash of some of these cards, but we're not going to see the same opportunities that we saw last year and early parts of this year, where the arbitrage game is over. It's going to take time to make money in this game. And sometimes people may be able to get a raw card on the cheap, and that card happened to be a PSA 10, and that player exceeded expectations. Okay, those cards could potentially go higher. But I'm just looking at it just from an interest rate perspective, and then also in terms of what's going to happen on the spending side next year, or what could potentially happen. Now, we have elections next October or November, midterm elections in the United States. And if individuals are elected that want to limit the amount of government spending, they don't want to spend as much as they have, they're going to increase spending, but not to the level that we saw last year, then that could have ramifications potentially in the stock market moving forward and the whole economy. Because you have to remember what happened last year, especially in the stock market, was you had all this spending by the government that propelled the stock market to go higher, that allowed the sports card market, in my opinion, to go higher. All this government spending, lowering interest rates, Bitcoin went higher. Everything went higher asset wise after March of last year. And from my perspective, I'm not too worried about this because I told you my strategy. I'm selling some of the cards that I bought, and they have gone up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7x. Some even went 20x. I'm selling those cards. And what I'm doing right now is just from a collecting perspective also. And, I may invest in some of these. I'm just looking at autographs under $150. And anything over that right now, I don't want to spend too much money on cards. Because if history repeats itself, because last decade, they started to aggressively raise interest rates right around when Trump was elected. And if they start raising interest rates next year because inflation is just getting out of control, because even the supply chain cannot get back to normal, and on top of it, the whole economy's starting to pick back up. Okay, so the Federal Reserve will be compelled to do something. And right now, partly the reason why asset prices, especially sports cards, have gone up because the short-term interest rates are low. They're almost at zero. Government spending was crazy. You got stimulus checks. Now you don't have that. So that's what I'm looking at from my end. I know some people may not agree with that. That's fine. This is just my own interpretation. I've just outlined a game plan for myself where I'm still going to be involved in this hobby, but I'm just looking at autographs. Cards, I may selectively buy cards here and there, but for the most part, I'm not. I'm still in sell mode, but then I am still buying some cards and some autographs that I feel that are nice. That's nice to add to my collection. I post it on Instagram. And yeah, also follow me on Instagram. But anyways, guys, the other thing is I remember this one guy, I forgot his name, I think it's Jeff. He has these podcasts, I think on Saturday night on YouTube. And he interviewed this one guy, this one Persian dude, and he had the Wayne Gretzky card, and he talked about, yeah, I had the Wayne Gretzky card, I sold it, and what he thought was, this was, I think, late last year or early this year. He said maybe in 2 years when they start raising interest rates, that's when he's gonna get scared. He owns an insurance company. He's sophisticated. He's a rich guy. Okay, and he's older than me. And when I see someone that understands markets and he's a bit hesitant on the market moving forward, he was looking at it from a 2 year perspective because of interest rate hikes. Okay, uh, I would certainly listen to some of his concerns. Does it mean that you're going to see bloodshed? No, it just means that we should be aware of what's going on. And this is what I'm looking at from a macro perspective. And I understand some people are like, hey man, this is not going to happen till next year. I understand that. That's fine. But I like sharing what's going on in my head, my own thoughts. This is my blog, video blog. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think for those that follow the markets. And if you don't follow the markets and you don't agree, that's fine. Let me know. I am I'm open to comments here. Anyways, guys, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below, guys. Thanks. Bye.